Hello again, everybody, and welcome to my stream. This is an explanation video on certain things I would like you guys to know. First off, I use a 1 to 20 rating scale. Now, a 1 to 20 rating scale and a 20 to 80 value scale are things you're going to know when I'm showing you and explaining to you players and why I choose them, and also how you form your own opinions. So basically, a 1 to 20 rating scale, which I use for every rating, for all pitchers and hitters, including their miscellaneous ratings. And overall potential ratings are done through 20 to 80. I do allow you to be over the max. That doesn't include these two. That means these ratings right here. So you can be over 20 on any of the ratings, and it will show that, which I like that. Also, there is a possibility where you could have a better rating than your potential, which happens for players who are declining or players who are playing above their potential or get a boost or whatever. That is for. So here's what I mean by ratings. This is a pitcher. He has stuff, control, and movement. These are the other ratings right here. Okay. Uh, Stamina halt. This is all 1 to 20 as well because that keeps in concurrent with this stuff right here, which I enjoy. I use 1 to 20 because it is a little bit easier than using 1 to 10, which, yeah, hey, it's a little bit easier. That's fine. This game is for me, it's for fun. So if it's a little bit easier, but not too easy, I'm fine. Plus, I feel 1 to 20 is a legitimate good scale, and that's all you need to know. So, uh, basically, the ratings go like this. On the 1 to 20 scale, red is not good. And red goes up to about 5. Once you hit 6 and 5, it gets orangey. And 6, it starts getting yellowy, because that's now going on to the next level, which is yellow. As you can see here, he's 9, he's yellowish. But his potential is 11, and that's a greenish yellow, with the 12 being more green. Then you get into 13, that's even greener. 15, oh, now you're talking. Then you're seeing something like 16. 16 is a bluish green. Wow, then you get up to 20. 20 is damn blue. So basically, that's how the ratings work. And that's how these ratings work as well, starting with 20 and ending with 80. There's not much more I would like you to know about that. Most questions and things, that's how I'm looking at stuff. That's when I'm judging things. I usually look for hitters, especially left and right. I'm a very big platoon split guy. But for my better hitters, like him, he's going to play a lot against lefties because he's a great hitter, and you never know when a righty will come in. Also, like, you want him to play, right? I'm paying him. I want him to play. But it's important to know split ratings and how they affect and what you're looking for. Because defensive ratings and offensive ratings, especially when you don't have a DH, they really matter. Uh, Putting this guy in a tough situation with a bunch of righties coming up, more than likely, you're going to get a walk, maybe even a homer. He is less likely giving up a homer against lefty. So things like that I'd like to know, and I'm really glad that they color code these things. Other ratings like money, I like to keep my money a little lower than real life, so I've lowered it, and as you can tell by some of the salaries are a little bit lower for long-term, especially really good players. I like the medium players to be more accurately represented and paid for where they are, and it helps me signing contracts and helps me lower budgets across the entire game. And no, I do not have salary caps. That's something that I don't like for baseball, but so it does give teams a higher advantage, but the game itself adjusts. So you'll have a team winning really a lot and having a huge market value, and then eventually they'll be down at $60 million budgets because no one's going to the games. So it's not truly like real life, but the Yankees do become bad unless something crazy happens and they get an amazing player. So Another thing is that evolution happens in the league. I keep certain things off, like expansion and schedule length, for the specific reason of my history. That is important to me, and using 162 games is my baseline, so it's going to stay like that. Expansion is something I'll get into in the next slide. The rest of them I'm okay with. They don't affect the game too much. The only thing is if the active roster gets too small, I kind of get a little worried. I will try with it, but also I do have my comfort zone, so usually I will force change that if it gets too low after one season. The same if it gets too high. Like if I'm starting to play with 30 players, that's not fun as well. Okay, so now I'm going to get into why I don't have expansion and why the more less offense and pitching options were also clicked. So this is the game engine. The game runs its stats based on these totals. It tries to get these totals every year. Now, these modifiers are judged based on these totals. These modifiers are judged based on the other totals that are collected that aren't static. I have a model which I use to keep the league using these models plus these models with stats to back them up. So I export the game data and go through a few motions and find the right modifiers to keep the game from going too far to one side. So one year you get only guys with 30 home runs, and next year you get guys with hitting 60 and there's like 7 of them type thing. It stays within a reasonable motion. Yeah, you get outlying seasons. You get crazy years where the pitchers just can't get a guy out. And then next year there's like 4 pitchers with 1 ERAs. Maybe not that extreme, but like it keeps the game always coming around this. So one year you will have more hits, one year you'll get less hits than the year before, not than the modifiers per se. And that's fun for me. Like I don't need 6,000 home runs in a video game. In real life, yeah, that's great. In a video game, I don't want my pitchers giving up that many. But I also don't want pitchers to be too dominant either. So I picked a particular era. I used the 2010 Major League Baseball season. It's a little pitcher dominant. So yeah, you can say where my love lies, but it still has a really good hitting stats. And where I don't have the season up. This is spring training, so you can't really see the stats for that. But at the end of the season, take a look at the stats. They're pretty legitimate, and I feel that it's a really good baseball universe. I had another universe that went 116 years, and it seemed pretty fine. I also run a draft. We do 20 rounds because I only have 5 rounds of minor leagues. Some teams only have 4. Also, because the league has 2 other major leagues, Japanese Professional Baseball League and the Korean Professional Baseball League, there are the players who are released in free agent modes who get signed. So it keeps the game using up players, which I like. So guys can not just get one shot in the major leagues and then retire at 20. Still happens though, but a little less than would if I had way more players in the draft. There is not much else I need to tell you. Anything else will come up later. It will be either added in a separate video or explained to when the question is asked. I'm excited to get the season with you guys, and I'll see you around.